Hello everyone! Welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel. This is me, Annie, and I will be drawing for you today. Grab your tea, coffee and snacks and let's dive into today's video. The weather becomes colder and colder each day, so I feel that my voice is also feeling the change of temperature, so my voice sounds a little bit sick, even though I feel alright. And today I will be working on a very festive and silly drawing of my original character Ginger. I decided that I would draw something Christmas or winter related, or the favorite characters of mine that are reminding me of winter time. And of course, this applies to my own characters, which are original characters, so why not give them some festive mood or like a new outfit? But since I'm still recovering from the surgery, I decided that I would go a little bit easier today, so I decided to just draw a portrait of Ginger wearing a Christmas hat, a little ponytail with this cute little mistletoe, and also a bunch of Christmas decorations and fairy lights on her head and face. I just had this idea in my head that Ginger would be so happy to make Christmas decorations and decorate Christmas tree and stuff, but for some reason I think she would also be very clumsy doing this and she would turn everything over. So I actually planned two drawings with this idea in mind, and one of them is this portrait and the other one is going to be in one of my next videos. So if you're curious to see that one too, you are welcome to join this channel and my other social media linked in the description. So usually when I do sketching part of the art, I use a normal HB graphite pencil or like a mechanical pencil, and I do it in one of my sketchbooks, but occasionally I do some art on the specific type of paper if I feel like I want to add more texture to my art or anything specific in my head, depending on what is my mood like or what type of medium I'm planning to use for my art. So for today's Christmas card, I took a paper that is intended for watercolor painting, but I really like how the texture works with alcohol-based markers, and I used this combination of materials before and I really like the results, and the texture of the paper gives a nice cozy feeling to the card and artwork itself, so I decided it would fit perfectly the Christmassy vibe that I'm going for. But in my experience, when I was drawing with the graphite pencils on a textured paper like this, it tends to leave a lot of grease or like stains, and the drawing then later looks a little bit greasy and darker, and I want to make it very bright and neat. So today's artwork is started with a sketch of a colored pencil instead. That is also erasable and it's meant for sketching, but since the graphite has this tint, today I'm using orange tint, even if it leaves some spots here and there, it's not going to affect the overall mood because it's a color, and it would rather act like a little underpainting, and even if it's visible, it's going to seem like it's just finer detail and not like a mistake, and it will look like it's intended to be like this. But my plan as for now is to blend the sketch into the artwork under the markers, because I'm going to use yellows and beige colors, so it's going to blend in perfectly as per my plan, but we'll see later. And even if it's not going to blend, which I think will not be the case, but even if, I can easily cover it up with darker shades and line art later, because I'm planning to make it a full rendered artwork. While I'm on it, I can give you a little bit of a life update. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I have had recently a surgery on my hand, which wasn't anything serious. It's just my body has a little more collagen than usual, and my joints are a little bit more mobile than they are supposed to be. So sometimes my body produces these little pockets that are later on filled with joint fluids, and that can form into a cyst. So that's what exactly happened with my wrist. It used to happen with me before on my left hand, which was way more problematic because I'm left-handed and I wouldn't care much about it, but it started to grow bigger and started to affect my nerve or something because it was starting to become more painful day by day. So yeah, I just went to the surgeon and we decided that it's best to remove it. So that's what we went for. But ironically, surgery was on the right hand, but my left hand was also a little bit damaged because they had to insert a cannula, which is used for medication and anesthesia insertion. So yeah, both of my hands are affected for now, but I believe it's going to recover soon. And hopefully this will not happen again because I miss my gym routine and trainings. But meanwhile, the weather has become very nice and I started to walk in the mornings and sometimes in the evenings as well. And I've been thinking to go and draw outside. And in case you want to see me drawing outside and make a video about it, you are welcome to let me know in the comments if that kind of content would be interesting to you. And I will do my best to make the video soonest. So as I'm done with the sketch and I'm happy with the details and the composition more or less, it is time to fill in with some colors. Behold, as the royal palette of Her Artistic Majesty Annie is entering the shot to help out with choosing a perfect color palette for such a noble high arts portrait of Ginger. Excuse me, my little role-playing urge here. As I'm now starting to work towards the colored version of this artwork, I start with filling in the background color to mark out the silhouette of Ginger's portrait and the decorations that are hanging from her antennas. And I didn't want to go with traditional Christmas color palette, which is greens and reds and golds and stuff like that. Since Ginger's color palette is yellow and orange, I decided that I would go around her main color palette and make an alternative color palette for the Christmas card. So the red is going to be replaced by a dark orange that is kind of close to the red color but a little bit more brighter. Blue color for the background to contrast out the bright orange and yellows. And to give the card some shine and sparkles, I decided that I would fill some details with golden metallic colors. I rarely use them nowadays, but I really like how they look on the artwork. Honestly, I just don't know where to put them so they would look appropriate. But Christmas theme is perfect for sparkles and shine and metallic colors, so why not? But that is going to be for the later part of the coloring. For now, I'm going with the base coloring, which is the background and the main colors for Ginger's design and her hat and decorations. So to keep the palette unified, I am trying to give some accents here and there. For example, I want the decorations to be a little bit of a brighter and more contrasty side, so I'm going to color them partially with this darkest orange color. Same color I'm going to use for the hat and mistletoe. And the rest of the Ginger's details I'm going to color with her usual color palette, which is yellow, beige and orange. Drawing all these decorations on Ginger's face made me think about my real-life decorations for the home and Christmas tree. I can't really help it but remember the decorations from my childhood, and we used to use the real-life Christmas tree because they were on sale and plastic ones weren't even a thing back then. And I remember the whole flat was filled with this smell of spruce tree, its needles and resin, and it instantly gave this feeling of Christmas coming soon. And you know, we had to water it so it wouldn't die too quickly. It was almost like having a bouquet of flowers that you have to change water for, but like a big ass tree, you know. And it was such a joy to decorate it with the family and my sister. It was so much fun. I remember my mom bringing down this big box of Christmas decorations. They're all shiny, sparkly, and glittery. And back then they were making the Christmas decorations out of glass and hand painting them. They were so pretty and beautiful. I think you can only find this kind of decorations in antique stores today, or maybe a glass workshop where they are doing handmade glass products like vases and ornaments and stuff. In my home country, I think they're selling this kind of stuff for tourists, and they're pretty expensive today. So it's really hard to afford such Christmas decorations nowadays, because one piece could cost you a hand and a leg. But back then, everybody had the same kind of decorations and they were all affordable, which was so cool, but I don't know why it's not a thing anymore. So for me, I was thinking maybe to start collecting such beautiful handmade Christmas ornaments for the Christmas tree, like to have one a year, so it would be still affordable, and each year have like a little treat for myself and my family to buy a cool handmade Christmas decoration. And after a few years, my whole tree will be filled with unique types of ornaments and Christmas toys. That would be such a cool tradition to start and keep going. And if anybody wants to make a Christmas gift for me, I will ask for Christmas decorations, but not the cheap ones that are made in China for 30 cents of dollar, but like a real one, a cool hand painted or something interesting or maybe uniquely shaped. And imagine Christmas tree full of those kind of ornaments. This would be very beautiful. Is it just me, or do you also like to collect some interesting stuff like this? Tell me down in the comments, what kind of collections do you keep and why? I think I'm starting a Christmas tree ornament decoration collection now. I feel like millennials at some point started to realize that now that we are grown up adults and we start to earn our own money, we can start treating our inner child better and get ourselves stuff that would make our inner child happier. Maybe something that we were deprived of in our childhood for some reason, either due to poverty or lack of resources, or maybe our parents didn't do a great job, you know. And also in modern society, a lot of stuff has evolved, especially the production of stuff. So back in our childhood, we didn't have so much variety of, I don't know, toys and some fun stuff like stickers or maybe stationery in my case. So now that we are grown up, we have our own money, and I see a lot of people in my age spend their money to have fun stuff around and buy themselves some childish, quote unquote, things that our parents would now consider like childish stuff and would never allow themselves to buy in like an adult age. Because I see this in my own parents as well, and my friends' parents and families, that they act and put themselves as old people and as if they are not allowed to buy childish things for some reason. For me, this is nonsense. You are adult and you can do whatever you want. Especially if it doesn't hurt anybody. And if your inner child wants a little treat of a fun toy or maybe a fun sketchbook or a planner with a bunch of stickers or maybe some fun pens or whatever activity, just go for it. You don't have to deprive yourselves from joy and fun. We are all still human and we want to be alive and have fun with our lives, and it doesn't always have to be so serious. Christmas time is always the time that reminds me of the childish things and joy and fun, because there are all these ornaments around us and as if they are screaming at us, let's have some fun, you know? And especially this applies to the parents of young kids, because most of the people in my age already have their own kids. Like, it's such a perfect spot for connection with children. It's amazing, especially with all these sadly trends that kids are using the gadgets and social media, you know, and growing anxiety and stuff. I think this could be the cure for this trend. And if parents would let their inner child be more free and let themselves have some fun with their children, especially, of course, outside of their adult responsibilities, I feel that this would make the world so much better place for everybody. Yeah, thoughts like that are always coming to my mind when I'm drawing. So thank you for coming to my TED Talks again. I'm going to pause for now and proceed with the line art and finishing details in my next video, so stay tuned for part 2. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. If you like my work and art and you want to support me, you are welcome to join this channel, leave a like and a comment, and share this video with somebody that likes art-related content. This would be a perfect gift for me and my channel, and I appreciate every one of you. I'm wishing you a great day ahead and hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!